if you like a sport, and that sport's probably jiu-jitsu if you're watching this channel, but if you play a sport, you want to be very good at it, and a part of being a good athlete is recovering. And since I'm currently training for a jiu-jitsu tournament, a jiu-jitsu super fight, and a triathlon all at the same time, recovery is very front of mind for me right now. So here are 5 things I do every week to perform at my best.
I'm not actually sleeping. This is just called an establishment shot. If you're not sleeping well and for long enough, none of the things I say in this video matter except for that. Sleep is the basis for all recovery, and there's no point in doing extra stuff if you're not getting adequate, proper sleep. Sleep is essential for muscle recovery. Studies have shown that inadequate sleep can hinder athletic performance. Lack of sleep can affect reaction times, endurance, and basically everything that makes you a good athlete. Also, inadequate sleep can affect your immune system and make you sick, and it's hard to recover from hard athletic training if you're sick all the time. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of good sleep every night. There's no magic number, and it's going to be different for every person. Everyone requires different amounts of sleep, and there's no shame in sliding in an afternoon nap or 2 if needed. I take one like basically every single day. Usually the dog decides to nap on me at the same time, but just be careful. Don't nap so much that it affects your nighttime sleep. If you sleep too much during the day, then you can't sleep at night, and that kind of defeats the whole purpose. Sleep, sleep, sleep should be the #1 takeaway from this video. You need to sleep. It's the best way to recover. If we assume that you are getting enough sleep, let's see what else we can do. I probably take this way too far, but I think even doing a small version of what I do can be beneficial for you. I'm also a nerd, which means I love data and numbers, and I love analyzing and probably overanalyzing all of my health metrics, my heart rate, my training, all of that stuff, all of that information. I love those numbers. You're probably familiar with the company Whoop, and this is not a commercial for Whoop. I don't have a Whoop, but they're pretty well known for having the ability to track your heart rate and your sleep and your recovery and giving you a recovery score and all of that. The watch I have on right now is a Garmin, also not a commercial for them, although it would be cool if they did give me money to promote their stuff. Hit me up, Garmin. I love this watch because it does all the things that Whoop does. It gives me a recovery score, which Garmin calls body battery. It tracks my sleep, tracks my heart rate. But as you know, I'm training for the triathlon as well as jiu-jitsu, and this can track my runs, my swims, all of my cycling, and I love to dive into all of those numbers. We have access to so much information, it would feel really silly to me to not take advantage of it to be as good an athlete as possible. When my body battery tells me that I'm not really recovered for that day and I'm approaching overtraining, I try to back it down. I try to listen to that information and try to be as informed an athlete as possible. I'm not saying you have to go out and spend hundreds of dollars on a watch or a wearable or any of that stuff. Just use your resting heart rate. Every morning when you get up, before you get out of bed, just measure your pulse and count it for 15 seconds and then multiply that number by 4, and now you've got your resting heart rate. Every morning do that, and if there's a morning where the number is way higher than it usually is, that means you're overtraining, and use that information. Tailor your workouts for that day to give yourself the best chance to recover. I think even taking in that small bit of information can make you a better athlete, and it can better inform your recovery. I know that this isn't the most exciting one because it's about data and numbers, but I do think it's important. Let's go outside now to my most favorite piece of recovery.
Sorry everybody, but the good microphone stays inside. I've always wanted to have a sauna at my house, but they're super expensive, just like all these ones on screen now are super expensive. And yeah, I can get access to one where I do my swimming, but the problem with that one is it's not exactly private and there's always people in it, and I don't like that. So instead I got this one. This is from Sweat Tent. It is in my backyard. It sets up super easy and gets just as hot as any other sauna. Sauna is incredible for your recovery. It helps with circulation, and that extra blood flow helps your muscles recover. Oh, and it also, staves off Alzheimer's and all-cause mortality. And it's one of the most relaxing parts of my week. I do it 3 or 4 times a week, and I think it helps me be a better athlete. So check out sweattent.com. The link is in the description below. They're doing a huge sale right now. Check it out. And now let's go inside to a thing that nobody does, but everyone should.
Here's the thing that I like that most people don't: the foam roller. I use the foam roller every single night. I know there's some debate about the efficacy of the foam roller. I really like it. Here's some clips of me using it. Foam roller is part of my nightly stretching routine. And again, I know there's some debate about the efficacy of static stretching. I don't just static stretch. I try to use full range of motion and some dynamic movements to really get a good stretch in. And this is obviously anecdotal, but I almost never have a pulled muscle or a strain or something like that. I've had injuries. Everyone gets injuries, but I've never had like I moved too far this way and now I pulled my groin. Those kind of things don't happen to me, and I stretch 7 days a week because I like it. I find it relaxing, and going back to the beginning, it helps me sleep. It calms me down. It's a nice relaxing thing to do at the end of the night before I go to bed. So build in some stretching, build in some foam rolling. Your body will thank you. Here's a big mistake a lot of people make, especially at Jiu-Jitsu. I see people show up to train and they go, all right, got my water. Here it is. This tiny little bottle of water. That's not enough. I bring a gallon with me, and water by itself is not enough either. When you sweat, it's not just water coming out. You're losing sodium, you're losing electrolytes, and you need to replenish that. Today at ShopRite, I bought this. It's Gatorade. This cost me $6 and will last me like 3 weeks. Before I go train, I put a couple scoops of this in a gallon of water, and then I'm good to go for during and after training. When you are dehydrated, you're not going to recover well. You're not going to feel good. If I don't have enough coming back in after I get done training, I have a headache, I feel terrible, and I know that I'm not recovering the way that I should. Also, dehydration will affect your performance, and you will not be as good at what you're trying to do if you're dehydrated. Make sure you're putting something in more than water. Have some carbs after training, have some protein to replenish what the damage was done in the course of training. Take your hydration seriously, take your nutrition seriously.
So there you have it, 5 things I do every week to recover and perform at my best. I hope this video helps, and I hope you can implement some of these strategies in your own training. Check out Sweat Tent, it's amazing. Link in the description. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.